What's up, guys? This is Yasha here, and today me and ZoMbiE will be talking about the newly revealed Xbox One. So, first of all, let's get into the first big thing. As I already said, the new Xbox for the next generation will be called Xbox One. It will have an 8-core CPU, 8 GB of RAM, and 500 GB storage. First of all, ZoMbiE, what would you like to say about that?
Well, it seems pretty good that with their setup that they're going for, the systems, the 5 GB hard drive is good, and this is all going to depend on how big content updates are going to be, things like that, and what other options they're going to have available for external storage if there is an external storage option, and things like that. So, supposedly they're going to have USB 3 ports, so good transfer rate if you do have an external, so that's pretty good. It's rumored that the RAM for the one is GDDR3, and which honestly really does not compare as good as the PlayStation 4, which has a GDDR5. So the power for that might be a little less than what the RAM for the PlayStation 4 can produce. The CPU is... Now this is where it gets really interesting. It's an 8-core, it's custom built by Microsoft, and the PlayStation 4 has a 8-core which is by AMD. The only difference is the Xbox is going to have so many different background processes going, we don't know fully how that's going to be comparable when you have the actual games running that you plan on playing and things like that, so we won't really know much about that until E3. The optical drive, it is apparent from what this site's saying. I'm looking on IGN right now that is Blu-ray and DVD, but as far as what we heard from the review video, it's Blu-ray only. So that unfortunately means no Xbox backwards compatibility.
Which really sucks because I am a big fan of Blur, and I'm definitely not going to give my Xbox 360 away because of this, because I still plan on playing Blur every single day, or at least every day that I'm not playing the new Xbox One. But, you know, I guess that's the way Microsoft wanted to roll with it.
Yep, which in the long run, it might hurt them.
Yeah, it might hurt them pretty bad, because I know a lot of people who still play a lot of old games. I mean, I even have my Nintendo 64 and stuff still hooked up and ready to roll.
Yeah. I still have like my nice little list of Xbox 360 games sitting there on my headboard that if I have the Xbox One, I won't be able to play.
Exactly. Moving on though, graphics are amazing. Graphics look beautiful. EA Sports and was it Forza was showing some stuff, and also the new Call of Duty Ghosts. Graphics, facial features, the skin and everything looks just superb. I mean, when you saw the hair on the man's forearm from Call of Duty Ghosts, it was just like, wow.
Yeah, their new engine that Call of Duty is using is really good, and it's allowing them to provide a lot more detail when it comes to the smaller things, which, when it comes down to it, that's what you look for when you're in a game. Besides having a great story, good graphics do help, and the more realistic that can get without pulling too much away from that video game aspect is really good for immersing yourself in that game, which is what game developers really try to achieve when they're developing these games, is getting you immersed in it and enjoying playing it. So that more detail you can have, it's much better.
Yeah, I'm not one to go for great graphics, but I was fairly impressed, fairly impressed. Let's keep it moving on. Finally, after how long did they announce it? Maybe, 2-3 years ago? Skype is finally coming to the Xbox, and it will have group chat, but we're not sure if you will have to pay for group chat or not, so...
Yeah, that's another option where it seems like if it's in terms with Skype, then it might still be that paid subscription like you have to have for the computer, as long as it's video calls. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, which really sucks because I don't know, I just wouldn't want to pay for video calls and group calls and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know.
especially if it's not something you're going to be doing often. But regular group voice calls will probably still be free, considering they are on the system, which in a sense is kind of not really needed if you're all gamers and things like that. But for those people that aren't on the game and want to do Skype calls, it's pretty good. One interesting thing about it is which this is also what we're going to go into, they have the picture-in-picture option. So you're going to be able to have a voice call going or video call going while you're doing whatever you're doing, whether it be watching a movie, browsing the internet, or playing a game. Which it seems the video call option while playing a game, I don't think people will be using it that much, because it's kind of, in a sense, pointless to be in a video call when you're playing a game, because you're focusing on the game, you're not really focusing on the person on the camera. So it might become more of a distraction while you're playing, so not many people might use that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Basically, I mean, come on, Microsoft. Don't make us pay for group video chat. You're already making us pay for everything else. Um, Next on the list, we have Xbox One TV Guide. Basically, what they're saying is you'll be able to, whatever cable company you have, Xfinity, Verizon, blah blah blah, something like that. Basically, you would be able to look through the channel listings and choose, what channel what you want to see, and go switch right to that channel from the Xbox. Which we're not all too sure though. It seems that you may be still needing that cable provider to and the box from the cable provider to even still use that option on the Xbox One.
Yeah, this feature is pretty good in terms of, like, I don't know about you, but there will be a lot of times where I'm sitting there playing a game or whatever, and then I'll get caught up in the game, and then there will be a show that comes on that I want to watch, or something I need to watch on TV, but I won't be able to switch back to it because I'm in the middle of a match. But now with this new feature where they have, not only do you not have to get to a save point to pause your game or stop playing it, but all you'll have to do is one simple thing of Xbox switch to live TV, and your game immediately pauses and saves right where you're at. You switch over to live TV, you can watch whatever you want, and right when you're done, simply say Xbox switch to game, and you'll go right back to the game, right back where you were. So it's as if everything, like, in that point in time just froze.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait for that to come out. I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to that because I know there's times where I want to watch some good shows and playing the game and all that stuff. Anyway, let's move on to the new updated controller. Now, the controller looks basically the same. They do have a new D-pad, new sensors, same great feel as the original Xbox 360 controllers, but they have impulse triggers, Wi-Fi direct radio stack, integrated battery compartment, and a precision directional pad. So, they've been improving. The biggest complaint was the D-pad, so they made their improvements.
Yep, and it seems that they got rid of the back and the start button and have replaced it with what seems to be what might be a picture-in-picture button and the dashboard menu button, which is on the left side. I think we'll probably be able to show a picture in a video of it. On the left side, you've got the picture-in-picture button, and on the right side, what might be the dashboard button. So it seems pretty good. The design is, in a sense, the same, and it's also quite different. I'm really looking forward to possibly getting my hands on the controller to see how it feels, and it's glad that they kept with the offset analog sticks because so many people have become accustomed to that, and I play on it a lot better than I play on what, like, the PS4 has with the dual analog right on the bottom there. So, and I heard that with the impulse triggers, I think that means more like sensitive and more responding, and from what I've heard, they were testing the lifespan of the controller in the Microsoft offices, and it's supposed to have a it was either a 2 million or a 20 million button press lifespan, which is quite a lot. I definitely know I won't be using that for quite a while.
What is the I'm not even sure if we covered that, but what is the Wi-Fi direct radio stack?
Wi-Fi direct radio stack, I think that has to do with how it connects to the system. Like, instead of having the sensors like they kind of did for the wireless controllers for the 360. I think it's a direct Wi-Fi signal, kind of like how a Bluetooth set has. So you'll get, there will be, it's not really noticeable when you're playing, but there is very slight latency lag when you push a button on the controller and your player performs the action. So this Wi-Fi Direct might help with lowering that latency lag for better response time.
Ah, that's good. That's good. That's really good. All right, let's move on to the next topic, which I'm kind of at a mix with. I'm not a Kinect fan, but they definitely updated their Kinect sensoring technology and all that stuff incredibly well, especially from the reveal examples that they showed up on stage.
Yeah, the Kinect does look like it is getting a lot better. I haven't had personal experience with the Kinect because I haven't been able to purchase one yet. But one thing that I'm trying to figure out is if they've taken into consideration is how a living room or wherever this Kinect is, usually there's stuff in the way that sometimes you can't really move. Like in my house, I don't have much of a big area that was required for the old Kinect to where I would have to move stuff around like couches and everything just to have that play space. I wonder if they took that into consideration and have it integrated to where the system is able to tell, okay, this is a person, this isn't, this is a table, take that completely out of the equation, things like that. See if they better organize it so that it will better fit in people's homes. And you won't have to have like wide basement space just to be able to use it.
Yeah, yeah. I have two Kinects, and that seemed to be a problem. My Kinect is in my living room, and I have a little coffee table, and I would have to push that out the way, and it was really annoying. But hopefully, they fix that, and hopefully it'll be better. So let's move on. We heard this from PS3, and now it's coming to the Xbox. Internal DVR, so you will be able to record all your video game matches and upload them to YouTube or Facebook or whatever site you wish to upload it to. So what do you think?
Oh, this is a pretty great feature. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been wanting to do things like record their gameplay and things like that, and this will eliminate the use of having to get external programs like the Hauppauge and the Dazzle just to be able to record your games. Instead, you'll be able to just do it right from your system. The only issue is how much space it's going to take up compared to other things that get downloaded onto your hard drive and things like that, which, yeah, 5 gigabytes is still quite a lot, but in my experience of recording and the raw files, they could get to be about a gigabyte or more just for a 15-minute video if you're doing high definition quality. So depending on how long it's recorded and things like that and where it's stored, it's going to be a big play in that.
Yeah, I think Black Ops 2 even has that little feature where you can record in-game and upload it to YouTube and stuff. And usually the quality isn't all too great, and you can only do so much recording and stuff like that. So I don't know. It depends on who you are. If you're a hardcore, a hobbyist who likes to upload, edit, and make your own content, then this probably won't be the thing you would use the most. You would probably keep your HD PVR or whatever it is, your Elgato, whatever it is you use.
Yeah.
But, for casual people who want to post up that crazy moment they got in the game, this would be just for you, and you will probably love this feature. Next, we heard from the reveal today, more players in matches, so there won't be just your standard 6v6, 5v5, 4v4, or even 12v12. I haven't heard specific confirmed information, but definitely from the Battlefield side, I've heard that there should be 64 players on the new Xbox One for the Battlefield game.
It does seem pretty cool, but in my personal opinion, there is such a thing as too many players at once. Because, I mean, if you figure, is this 64 people total or 64 on a team?
This is 64 people total.
So that means
32
people on a team. So that is quite a big battle and would be pretty representative of an actual war and things like that. But then it will come into play of people's connections, things like that, and it could get to be quite a big mess. I know there might not be too many people that like playing that way. I know when I played on Halo and they had the whole big team battle and things like that, it wasn't really something that I was too into because there was just so much chaos going on. But we'd have to see how the game developers take that into perspective and how they set it up to better host these big game servers.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. I personally love big game types with, like with Blur, it's 20 players in the match. Call of Duty, I like doing uh, what is that game mode again? I can't remember what it is, but the one where you have more players in it. But yeah, I don't know. I love having more people to play with, contact with, and just shoot and have fun with. Um, Next big thing, EA. Well, EA was definitely talking about it. Smarter and better AI. They're talking about having not, not just slightly better, but more like an actual human playing against you with that human like thought, taking in considering what you have done, what they think you would do, and try to take you down.
That's pretty interesting. Like everyone loves the better AI. The better the computer is, either playing with or against, the better your experience will be. Because I can't count the number of times where I've had AI teammates doing some stupid, idiotic thing that other player would never do, and causing you just making it harder for you to personally play. I mean, I've sitting here so many times saying, "What is this AI doing? Why is this like this? What the heck's going on here?" So hopefully, this more human-like AI will provide for a much better and more closer to online experience for especially those newer players who aren't quite ready to face actual human players yet. They can go against the bots and not have to worry about things like down talk and other things like that, and they'll get good training experience for when they do finally make that transfer to online play.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think, what is it, Capcom, the Resident Evil, I can't remember what it was, but their AI was so horrible that the people even said that it was even impossible to beat one of the Resident Evil games because the AI was so bad. So hopefully this will be able to fix their problems and, you can beat some more Resident Evil games. We have going on to the next topic, we have talked about this just a little bit earlier, but let's go into a little bit more full detail. The snap mode, the pit mode, or whatever you like to call it, having control of two apps at once. So being able to have your Windows Explorer up and Skype at the same time, being able to have TV up and Windows Explorer at the same time, being able to play a video game and Skype up at the same time. So this was definitely one of the biggest intriguements that I had when watching the reveal, and I don't know, I think I might be using this quite a lot.
Yeah, this is definitely another good feature. And to try and keep it in terms of like gaming, when there's been times where you're playing a game and all of a sudden you get stuck on a part and you're like, oh, what do I do here? And you'd have to go to a computer or take out your phone and go to a website just to find out what you have to do. But now with this picture-in-picture, you can bring up the Internet Explorer, go to the site, scroll down to where you need to be, and still play the game while still looking at that page, and it's still right in your eyesight, so you don't have to move around too much. You can focus more on playing and less on figuring out how to play.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think we said it before. People may not be using gaming and Skype at the exact same time, but it's a nice feature to have. So
Yeah, just in case, like how they showed in the video, if someone calls you for a voice call and you're in the middle of the game, you won't even have to stop playing the game to answer the call. You'll just tell the Xbox to pick it up and it automatically picks it up, and with the picture mode, it'll have it right there so you can, in case you need to quickly look at it and things like that. And so it looks like it would flow really well.
Yep, yep. All right, next on the list of things to talk about, we have a little bit of bad news, which is no backwards compatibility. So with your Xbox One, you just will not be able to play your old Xbox 360 games and your original Xbox games, which is quite sad because, like I said before, I love playing the game Blur, and it's going to be sad that I can't play it on the new console.
Yeah, this is the part that probably would suck the most from what we've seen about this system, because people, I know myself, I don't want multiple consoles cluttering up an area and things like that, and I don't want to have to be switching back and forth between consoles. So having one console that would be able to do all that would be highly beneficial to me, and it really does suck that the Xbox One will not do this. And it was kind of that way with the 360, but that was only with versions of games that already had a 360 version of it. But looking back and seeing all those Xbox games that I have that I won't be able to play on the new console, it, in a sense, eventually seems like it's just money just sitting there now, because it's really worth not much anymore to where if I even wanted to get rid of it, you know. So it really sucks that we're not going to be able to have it all in one system.
Yeah, so Microsoft, pick it up. PS3 said they're going to have it. You need to pick it up and have it. Um, also, so the one will have 300,000 servers operating it, which basically means that you will be getting in a match quicker, a little bit less laggy for some games. Basically, your online experience will be a tad bit better.
Yeah, it will be a lot smoother experience because versus the 360 who only has about 3,000 servers, when you use certain apps you might notice that it takes a while for it to load up, or you get those little small freezing points while playing and things like that. With these 300,000 servers, it provides much more available space and stuff like that for everything to operate, and you won't have to worry about those small freeze ups or those slight lag points and the drop in latency.
Yeah. But so, basically it'll make your gameplay much better. And I like that. I really, I really do. Nothing much to say about that. Next to be talking about though, the possibility of having to install your games to a hard drive before you can play them, which I am not too excited about. Let's just let ZoMbiE go into a little bit more.
Yeah, this has been rumored for a while that you might have to mandatory install the game in order to play it. Like, I'm on IGN.com right now and I have an article up that says reports are claiming that Xbox One will require all games to be installed on the console's HDD before they can be played. According to Wired, if owners want to use the disc with a second account, they'll be asked to pay a fee and install the game from the disc, suggesting that once games are installed, you won't need to insert the disc to play. And then there was on the FAQ page on Microsoft or on Xbox.com about the whole issue. There was something that said, the Xbox One is designed to enable customers to trade in and resell games. We'll have more details to share later, which means that they are planning something into where people would wonder if it's limited on what you can do with your games if you no longer want to play them. So whether it be locking the system or locking the game to the account or locking the game to the system, it's not confirmed, and it's not even confirmed if this is going to be mandatory. But it's been in speculation for a while, and if it is true, then it's not looking good for Xbox.
Yeah, which kind of sucks because I think didn't EA just give up on that whole access online pass thingy just like a while back? So I mean, if they're trying what EA did and lock a certain game to a certain account or whatever, that's just really bad when EA just opened their minds.
That's one thing I hated about EA. I remember you asking me to play one day in Battlefield, and I signed on my account. I put in my one copy that we have, and I'm in a family of 4 children. So we have one copy of Battlefield, and I put the game in, and I need to buy a pass in order to play on my account. And I'm like, why should I have to buy an extra pass to play a game that I bought, that was bought for us, for our family to play? So now you're forcing me to play on my brother's account, to spend that extra money to be able to play. And it was just one of those things where, well, if I would have known this before, then I would have second guessed in buying the game. That's one feature that developers and consoles, you don't want to have that. Because that's going to severely limit, you may think, it'll increase sales because people will have to either pay for that pass or buy a second copy. But people are not going to like it.
Yeah, that's why EA got put up for the worst company of the year. I think was it last year or something like that. So Microsoft, if you're listening, stay away from that. Do not want. All right, moving on. 15 exclusive games and 8 brand new series for the launch of the new Xbox One. I think we have a list, a couple of games that are actually confirmed. We have confirmed games. We have Assassin's Creed 4, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, of course, Destiny by Bungie, FIFA Soccer 14, Forza Motorsports, Madden 25, NBA Live 14, Quantum Break, which I believe we saw a tidbit of that at the reveal, Thief, UFC, and Watch Dogs.
These titles are definitely pretty promising. I haven't seen anything in there that I'm personally interested in except Call of Duty Ghosts, and from the trailer they had there, it seemed really great. And and then the fact that they're releasing it on the Xbox One first before the other consoles, it's definitely a really promising game, of course, and I can't wait to see exactly what they do with it with this new console and their new engine that they're using to develop it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghost. Surprisingly, Forza, because the Forza game they showed looked incredible. And definitely Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs from the last, I believe is, what was it, E3 or PAX that we saw it first at?
I think it
And the
might have been
game,
PAX.
PAX,
Yeah.
the game looks incredible. It looks so, uh, it just looks so unique and just a lot of fun to play around with. For the list of possible games on the Xbox One, we have Wolfenstein: The New Order, Rise, Halo 5, Dragon Age, Dragon Age 3, The Evil Within, a next gen family game, which usually they will always have a family game for Connect or something like that. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, a next gen zombie game. We're not possibly sure, but it could be Dead Rising 3, possibly. Rainbow Six Patriots, Mafia 3, Doom 4, Ready at Dawn next gen, a next gen Sonic game, which I haven't seen much of Sonic in quite a while. Square Enix's Luminous, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Luminous, a sequel to Homefront, which was a really good game. The graphics wasn't stunning; they was like PS2 graphics, but the gameplay more than made up for it. Homefront was incredibly fun, so I'm actually quite glad that they'll be coming out with a Homefront 2 possibly. And Lionhead Studios' next generation game. We not sure what it may be, but it's a possibility.
And these titles looking like there are a couple I am definitely, without a doubt, interested in, which would be Halo 5, Destiny, and Doom 4. I've always been a fan of the Doom games, and I've always kept up on on that company. It's surprising to see that Bethesda might be working on it, considering I'm wondering how that's going to play in with ID Tech 4 and what they're going to do together with that game. The Halo, of course, I've been a fan since first Xbox and Halo 1 Combat Evolved. That game is what got me into Xbox and what has kept me into Xbox for as long as I have been playing. Unfortunately, I still have yet to play Halo 4. Oops on my part, but and
Because
then
you suck.
Destiny, of course, Bungie has always been making great games. From Marathon to Halo, I haven't seen a game yet that they've made that did not do well. So seeing Destiny that possibly might be on there is one I'm definitely looking forward to.
All right, and last but not least, we just got off the topic, but sadly we have to go back in it. For you Halo fans, a new Halo TV show by Steven Spielberg.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this one. I've heard people be like, they were complaining they wanted a Halo movie, blah blah blah, and then they came out with Forward Unto Dawn, and that did so well, and I was really surprised on how well and how developed it was with the CGI animation and all that, things like that. Like when I first saw about it, from these fan stuff I've seen, it doesn't look like it's gonna do too great, but it really blew me away. And what I'm thinking of why they did not do a movie is because in the long run, you get more anticipation from watching a TV series than you would a movie. Like you go to a movie, you watch it, after 2 hours it's done. But for a series, you've got a month or more worth of videos that keep you interested every week, wondering what's going to happen next. You get to be able more developed in your characters. You get more story that you can play out and focus more. It's less costly for you as a person because you won't have to go out, buy a movie ticket, spend money for gas, whatever, just to get out to the theater. And so a TV series is definitely a really good route to go for this thing. And where it's going to be available, if it's going to be for free like Forward Unto Dawn was on the Xbox, or if it's going to be on some channel on live TV, we're not sure yet, but it's definitely something that's going to really bring in a lot of anticipation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, is there anything else you have to talk about?
Not really that I can think of. I think we've covered pretty much everything that we know and is confirmed. Everything else is just speculation, which we could either save for another video or just not even really talk about, considering it's all rumors. But we won't really know. Well, actually, you know what? One thing I want to talk about is, and I don't understand why they did this, but Microsoft made this their reveal. It was not as great as what the PS4 had to offer. The Microsoft, they made it more of like an entertainment system rather than a gaming console, which is what people want it to be. I mean, if you look, the stocks for Sony have gone up, while Microsoft kind of stayed the same with a bit of decrease, which is really not good. I mean, if people don't want this. I mean, yeah, all these features are great, but when it comes to a gaming console, and the 360 was known for hardcore gaming, to be pulling away from that, and I've mentioned this before when we were talking off the record, but what they're making this out to be is, oh, it can do this, 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 and this. Oh, and it can play games. Instead of, it can play games to this capability, and it can do this stuff. They made the main aspect of the system more about the entertainment side of it rather than the actual game side of it. So better hope that they have something really good planned for E3. Otherwise, the odds are not looking good in their favor.
Hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but I believe that's all we have right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this little in-depth look at the Xbox One reveal. And Activision, if you see this video, make Blur too, okay? Alrighty, and we are done.
Take care, guys.